Turkish get-ups. Right, so the first thing we want to learn when we do the Turkish get-up is the movement. The thing is, when you've got a big heavy weight above your head, if you're thinking about the movement and not dropping the weight on your head, that's a lot to think about. So it's easier to first of all just understand the movement, and then from there, then start thinking about adding the weight. So you want to start with one hand in the air. So it's easier, obviously it's called the get up, so that normally means that you get up first, but it's easier to map the movement from standing. So if you put your hand in the air, take a step back. When you step back, the first thing you want to think about is stepping shoulder width. So if you step on line, you're going to be off balance straight away, so that's no good. So what you want to think about is, say, if you've got a mat, think about trying to step in line. So what you've got there is a little bit wider than shoulder width, and then probably a little bit longer than that going back. So almost like sort of a rectangle, which should be 1 by 1.5. So if you say that is 1 in terms of your shoulder width, you're going to be 1.5 times that stepping back. So from there, we step back, we step on line, then the knee comes down, okay? So in terms of the next movement, you want to put your hand on the floor. But how you do it is important, because what the idea is, we want you to move through your hips, not through your back. So the idea is you push your bum back and sideways, then that way I'm keeping my back absolutely straight. And there we can find the floor. So a good sort of guide point, if you look where your heel is, it's going to be somewhere on line with that, if you take a straight line going across from there. So again, so the key thing is pushing your bum back and sideways, so you're basically working through your hips. So at this point, I can lift this hand up because I'm resting on my hips. And what I've done is I created an equilibrium, enough weight has shifted backwards to support my weight in this position. So say I can take my hand off and I won't fall over, okay? But the idea is this hand here, the hand that's in the air, needs to be directly above that shoulder in order to stabilise the weight, because you're trying to use your bones as much as possible. So then the next part of the movement is, if you clock where your knee is, your bum's got to go there. So as you slide your leg forwards, your bum goes down, and then from there your elbow hits the floor, and then you roll down. Okay, so in this point, this is how you get back up. You've got to push off this leg, so that heel needs to stay flat on the floor and as close to your bum as you can get it. So this hand stays in the air, this elbow pushes into the floor. So you push this one down, push up from the heel, and then straighten your arm. So this isn't really a resting position, so you want to try and get out of this position as quick as you can. So you get your bum up, again get your bum really high, put your knee where your bum was, so you should be back in that position that you were in a second ago. And then from there you squeeze your bum and you pull your tummy in, so you're moving through the hip. And then you stand up. And then practice the same thing on the other side. So it's exactly the same principle. Hand in the air, step back, step wide, knee comes to the floor, push your bum sideways and backwards until your hand's on the floor. And again, you should be able to take the weight out of that hand, back nice and straight. Then you put your knee where your bum was, elbow goes down until you're flat on the floor. And then from there, pushing off this leg, pushing the elbow into the floor, and I can say until you're into this position. Then from there, bridge up, again, knee where your bum was, pull your tummy in, squeeze your bum, which will straighten you up, and then you stand back up again. So practice that a few times until you're really, really comfortable with the movement, and then we'll move on to learning it with the weight.